Today, we're going to be calculating unit rates in terms of each quantity in a ratio. Let's start by reviewing that a unit rate is just a special type of ratio in which one measurement is compared to another measurement that has a value of 1. Now, in 6th grade, you learned different ways to write your ratios. You could represent them with a fraction, so you could have like A to B. You could also write them with the word to, or you could use a colon. So that's what we see done here in these examples. If I'm determining a unit rate in terms of each quantity here, I'm going to end up with 2 unit rates. And I'm going to show you an example with problem number 1, and then you're going to complete problems 2, 3, and 4 in Canvas. So in problem number 1, the 2 different quantities I have are 24 bracelets and then 6 hours. So I know if I'm calculating a unit rate in terms of both, I'm going to have a unit rate that tells me how many bracelets I could make in 1 hour, because again, one of the values is 1. But then I'm also going to find a unit rate for how many hours it would take me to make 1 bracelet. I'm going to use a ratio table to work this out. I'm going to start by labeling each side. I'm going to do B for bracelets and then H for hours. And then I'll put in the values that are given to me in the original ratio. So 24 bracelets, 6 hours. We learned earlier in today's lesson about scaling up, scaling down, and scaling to 10. So I'm going to try to do that here. What I need to do first to help guide me is I'm going to go ahead and place my ones in this table. So I know I want to calculate a unit rate for 1 hour, but I also want to know how long it would take for 1 bracelet. Now I'm going to try scaling down to find these equivalent ratios. And to maintain equivalency, I just know whatever I do to one side, I need to also do to the other. So let's start with the hours, scaling from 6 to 1. I can scale from 6 to 1 by dividing by 6. I know that 6 divided by 6 equals 1. Because I've divided this side by 6, I'm going to do the same here. 24 divided by 6 is equal to 4. Therefore, my first unit rate is 4 bracelets in 1 hour. So a ratio of 4 to 1. Now let's try to find the second unit rate in terms of bracelets. I could start from the original ratio and scale from 24 down to 1. But because this is equivalent, I could also scale from here. To me, it's easier to divide something by 4 than it is to divide by 24. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scale from here, 4 to 1. Well, how do I get from 4 to 1? That would be done by dividing by 4. So if I'm dividing this side by 4, I'm going to divide this side by 4. And notice, because I'm using this ratio, that I started at the 1, I didn't go all the way back up to the 6, right? I'm staying within this ratio and then doing the same operation on this side as I did on the other. 1 divided by 4, that's going to give me a decimal, but I could also write that as a fraction. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write that as 1 over 4, or 1/4. And so now I have another unit rate, this time in terms of 1 bracelet. When I write this, when you have a unit rate, get in the habit of putting the 1 in the bottom. So here, 1 bracelet would take 1/4 of an hour, which I know is 15 minutes. So I could also say it's 15 minutes per bracelet. Either way, that would be equivalent. So now that you have an example, you will go into Canvas and you will complete problems 2, 3, and 4. Look back to this video for help if you need it.